Hi, I recently passed the ACE personal trainer exam, so I decided to make a video. Maybe this will be helpful to some people that are in the process of studying for the exam and what to look for, what areas to concentrate on. Now, I don't consider myself a fitness expert. I'm an ACE expert. I didn't go to school for exercise science. I wish I did, but money wise, I couldn't do it. So a couple years ago, I just wanted to change my. I was more towards. I went to school for communications, broadcasting, TV production. Obviously, that path did not work out. A number of reasons. Another video out. I might share that. But I decided, a couple years ago, I always was interested in fitness and exercise, nutrition. Thought maybe, maybe that's something I could do in the future. Uh, it took me a little longer. It was on and off studying for the last couple of years, but I did finally, about 2 weeks ago, pass the ACE exam. Now, what do you need to concentrate on? How to prepare. There's different, like if you go to ACE's website, there's different bundle packs you could buy. I'm gonna tell you right now, the only thing you're gonna really need to go over is the personal trainer exam, the book, the manual. This is what you really need to go over. Each chapter, read the chapter, take notes. Majority of the exam is going to be coming from this book right here. Now, if you have the fourth manual book, this is the fifth one. You don't even need this one if you had the fourth one. I had the fourth one, but I decided to get the new one. It's the same material. I couldn't see any difference. If you have the fourth manual, you can still use that, and you can still pass the test. Now, there's a bundle pack. When you buy now, if you just buy this book separate, it comes with the exercise science essentials of exercise science book. Honestly, I don't think you really need to go through this. Maybe scan through it, but like maybe the nutrition part of the book. But honestly, you don't really need to really concentrate much on it. What I did was I looked at chapter one, going through some of chapter one. You don't really need to know the skeletal system. You don't need to know like the digestive system. Just scan through it. You don't need to take like a lot of notes on that. You're not going to be a doctor. You're a personal trainer, so you got to look at things in the book that what would you need as a personal trainer. You're not going to be a doctor or a nurse. You're a personal trainer, so you got to look at things in the book that a personal trainer will need to know. So chapter one, human anatomy, stuff like that. I would just briefly go through. Chapter exercise physiology, just a brief understanding of it. Now, every exam is kind of different, so my exam that I took might not be the same one that you take. It might be different questions. Like mine didn't have much math on it, but yours could have a lot of math on it. That's something that I concentrated on because I was worried about the math, so I did a lot of the study a majority, I spent weeks on math. I took the math course that you can take on ACE's website because I was worried about the math. So chapter 3, I think I concentrated on chapter 3. That was the kinesiology chapter, but you really don't need to spend too much on this book. Also, I used this, the study manual companion. Goes together with this. Basically, there's questions, you read the chapter, and then there's questions that you go over. So with the exam, it's 150 questions. So just be prepared for 150 questions. You have 3 hours to complete the test. And I didn't know how, just sitting there, just going over each question, and there's a part of you just get fatigued after, a while. And I'm going through it, and I'm question 90, and I'm like, oh my God, I have so many more to go. And you're just you could flag a couple questions and go back to them. You don't need to bring a calculator. You're going to be using the calculator on the computer. So that's one of the things I was wondering if I needed to bring. You don't really need to bring anything with you because the test guy will provide you with any scrap papers that you would need. One thing I would recommend concentrating on is something that I was stupid and I didn't do. I read the books and stuff, and I was trying to memorize stuff. The videos, there's questions that about you watch a video and you have to for example, maybe they were doing the Thomas test and you have to just watch the video and see like what muscle, if it was the breakfast from Famiris or whatever. But you're gonna have my exam had video questions. I'm like, oh my god. So it's good to like go to YouTube when you're preparing for this test. Go to YouTube, even if it's not ACE, like ACE website, or if it's something different. Go to YouTube and watch assessments. Watch them. That's something. If I had to take this exam again, that's something I would definitely concentrate on. Is watching videos of different assessments, so you can make an understanding and recognize when you see it that you can answer the question. Definitely recommend that. Watch videos. Concentrate on chapter 7. Oh my god, that was the chapter that I constantly kept on going through. I would go through, maybe like each week I tried to do a chapter. Once I always went back to chapter 7. That was the chapter that's the assessment chapter. It's gonna take you a while, depending if you didn't come with a fitness background like me. That's gonna be the chapter that you're gonna have a lot of trouble with. And it might be something that you might even want to start off first. Honestly, maybe go to that chapter first. Just read it, constantly go back to it. It's just repetition. You just have to keep on going back to it. Scope of practice. That's something that you really need to know. Basically, as a personal trainer, there's really not much you can do. They'll have questions on it to try to trick you. Just concentrate on scope of practice. Again, my exam didn't really have much of math on it. And I was kind of, and I told you, like, I prepared a lot with the math, doing the body mass index, those equations and all that I was a little disappointed. I think I would have gotten a higher grade or higher score if there was a little bit more math. The only math I had in my was like how many carbs are in a certain food, so that was pretty much easy. But I think that was pretty much the only math question that I had. But honestly, what I recommend, just basically going through each chapter. My study, I just took a notebook and I would read the chapter and just take notes, and I would take things, notate things that I felt were going to be questions in the exam that a personal trainer should know. And I would fill this up, I bring it to work, my day job, and just, read it on my lunch break, go through it, and just do that. And I filled up a bunch of 2 notebooks of notes. I do recommend that you take the ACE practice tests that they have. There's 2 of them. I think there's like 60 questions on each. Definitely, because you'll understand how the questions are set up, so to prepare yourself for the exam. Because the ACE exam is not something that's going to sit down. It's not going to be like like a simple question like what is like if you want to gain strength, how many reps should you do, or what's the definition of hypertrophy, stuff like that. That's not how it's set up. It's pretty much giving you, like, you have a client who wants to lose weight, and what the rep scale that should they use. You have a client, osteoporosis, is coming to you. What muscle training program will you recommend? Stuff like that. It's not like you have to, like, what's the definition of let me see real quick. Like what is the definition of VO2 max or something like that? I'm just pulling that out. It's not going to be a simple exam questions like that. It's going to be like, you have a client and they're coming to you and they have they're overweight, or they have osteoporosis, or they have hypertension. What's your recommendation? What are the things that you would do? So that's something that I would highly, when you go through, I definitely recommend doing the practice test. What I did was, this is an example of like one of them that what I did was, like, I took them, what I did was I did the whole, finished the whole book. Like I went through the whole book with notes and everything. And then I took the practice test, and then I printed out the practice test so I could go over the questions which is good about the practice test when you do take it, is that when you get something wrong, it tells you the correct answer and then where on what page you would find it. So then I would go back to it and restudy if I need to restudy something or go over it again or take better notes. So which is what I recommend. So good luck with your exam. It's going to be a long process. So I'll make some more videos hopefully to help out. Hopefully this was helpful, and I'll talk to you.